Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 36 of Popcorn Problems. My name is Elon Pressman, and I'm here with my very good friend and fellow co-host.
Nicholas DePasco. Every week, we'll make sure caught up with the biggest news and movies in Hollywood.
This week, we're going to be giving you our review of The Devil Wears Prada 2, one of last weekend's biggest new releases. But before we get to that, what's poppin'? Where we run through the biggest movie stories this week. What's up, guys? Hope you all are doing well. We have made the decision to switch our release days. So now you can expect, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but it's been dropping on Thursdays recently on some weeks, and that is going to be our official release date from now on. So yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know. Other than that, Nick, how you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. I've honestly been chilling for the most part. And just with work and school, working on like projects and everything like that. Maybe something that you guys will see at some point. But yeah, that's pretty much me. How are you doing, Alon?
Nice. Yeah, no, I'm chilling. Ready to film another episode. Happy to be here. So yeah, let's jump right into the box office. This weekend total was $172.2 million, which is up 17.6% from this weekend in 2025 and up 12.7% from last weekend. So obviously number one is The Devil Wears Prada 2, which is the film that we're going to be reviewing. 77 million domestic, 233.6 million global on a $100 million budget. Second biggest opening for 2026 so far. It beat Michael, and it's only behind Galaxy so far for the year. The decades later sequel nearly tripled the original's opening, which was 27.5 million. It had a 76% female audience and a large amount of international audiences. A- cinema score, yeah. A- cinema score, 87% Rotten Tomatoes score. And there's not many movies that are in the same genre coming out through June, so this is a type of movie that's probably going to make a lot of money throughout the summer. So yeah, that's pretty interesting, I feel like.
Yeah, it's some of the detail. I mean, the female audience, like, yeah, that's expected, I suppose. I do think the international audience being big is interesting, just because, like, I feel like this movie. I mean, we'll talk about it more. Well, we always say this. We'll talk about it more when we actually talk about the movie, but I feel like this movie really focuses a lot on like New York City, like the actual like city, and it kind of characterizes, or it has a lot of landmarks that like really make you feel like, oh my god, you're like you're in New York City.
Right.
So like that one IGN reviewer that's like, that makes you feel like Spider-Man. But yeah, like, so for an international perspective, it does feel like very much like a touristy New York City movie. So that's interesting, but we'll talk about it more later, unless you have something to say.
Yeah. So yeah, I have nothing else to add about Devil Wears Prada until our actual review.
Sure.
Yeah, okay, so second place this week was Michael. In its second weekend, it pulled in 54 million domestic, bringing the total to 423.9 global. It's a solid hold for the biopic, which in a decent amount of countries held the number one spot above Devil Wears Prada 2. Just for context, those countries were France. I don't know why I said France like that. France, Spain, Netherlands, Bolivia, Peru, Ecuador, and Malaysia. It is officially the second highest grossing movie so far for Lionsgate, behind John Wick 4.
Wow. Good stuff.
Oh, sorry, post-COVID. That's probably a big asterisk on that. Post-COVID. Yeah. So yeah, it's holding up decently, 44% drop. I wouldn't be surprised if Devil Wears Prada took some of its business.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still doing fine. It's already doubled its budget. It had a $200 million budget, and it's at over 400 mil at this point. And it'll probably keep playing throughout the summer and keep bringing in money. I know a lot of people that are rewatching this. This is the type of movie that people are rewatching. So I think that's gonna help it.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, it is basically just like listening to like a 2 hour Michael Jackson playlist.
yeah,
And just it's like the same experience. So I can see why the audience is there. And honestly, I have seen some of the clips just online that have been like pirated, boosted, whatever. Um, it's not bad filmmaking is the thing. It's not bad directing at all. Even if it's like arguably somewhat the same style as like other biopics or whatever. Antoine Fuqua um is a talented visualizer. Like he's a talented director. You can see that there's definitely like energy as it goes on. So I can see why people want to rewatch it. It's a fun ride at the end of the day, I suppose.
hmm yeah, I agree. Let's see what else we have interesting here. Number three was Super Mario. It pulled in 12.1 million domestic this week. Um, yeah, there's a couple like smaller films that opened. They all opened pretty small. Animal Farm, 3.4 million domestic on a $35 million budget. And Hokum, which is a horror movie with Adam Scott. Actually, it did okay. Pulled in 6.4 million on a $5 million budget. So I don't know. I do want to see that one.
Oh wow,
Um,
Severance really paid off.
yeah. So let's see. Overall, the domestic box office is running 14% ahead of last year's pace. And this was the first movie of the official summer season. A third of its opening came from North America, which means that it is possible for the film to reach a 700 million worldwide total. And then just looking towards the future, ton of stuff coming out within the next month or so. Mandalorian and Grogu, Disclosure Day, Toy Story 5, and Supergirl are all coming out between now and late June. So yeah, that is the box office. There's just so much crazy stuff coming.
Yeah, we're having a pretty packed summer, honestly. Like it's gonna be good. It's gonna be entertaining at the very least. I don't know if
Yeah,
everything's gonna be good, but I'm excited for it.
yeah.
I'm excited to do this podcast.
It's gonna be interesting to see how things play out and how many of these are good or bad. I do want to point out that me and Nick both have 3 points in our summer movie wager. Just based on the fact that Devil Wears Prada is in the top 10 at all. So, pushing along, tied for right now.
Hey, listen, an
Okay,
early start is a good start.
exactly, exactly.
Uh,
Okay, so we have some news to talk about. I just want to quickly run through some things. I would say this is the biggest one. We got some announcements from the Oscars relating to AI and how it's going to be affecting and how its use is going to affect eligibility. Pretty much, the Academy has banned AI from ever winning an Oscar. Only roles demonstrably performed by humans with their consent can be nominated for acting Oscars, and screenplays must be human authored to qualify for a nomination. So I think it's really cool. That means that people like Tilly Norwood, which is the AI actor that we were discussing a while back, is not ever going to be possible to win an Oscar. Not that I think she ever would have, but I think it's good to have these rules in place just to squash the possibility. What do you think of that, Nick?
I'm speaking from a future perspective. I am not disrespectful of any future AI actor and or overlord who listens to this podcast.
I am
This is
disrespectful.
this is gonna get cut out in like 20 years time when AI become just like conscious people, and then they're gonna come back and they're gonna cancel you for
Right.
saying that Tilly Norwood, their what is the word I'm looking, or who's the guy I'm looking for? Who's the guy who discovered America or something like that? Christopher Columbus.
Christopher Columbus,
Um,
yeah.
they're Christopher Columbus of Hollywood. You disrespected them. But yeah, I mean, I think this is great. I think this is a great start, or yeah, a great start in general. In all honesty, though, I don't see this really sticking in terms of like future, in terms of the future, really, because at the end of the day, like, who makes these rules? The Academy. Who can change the rules? The Academy. And I think this is like a little doomer of me, maybe I'm also just like accepting the fact that this is a reality. I do see AI integrating itself into like our entertainment, our media more and more. Maybe not to a point where we have AI actresses like Tilly Norwood. I did see like something on Twitter today. It was like arguably a visually interesting thing done in AI with, it was like an AI animation. It did look absolutely lifeless and like no charm, but I was like, oh fuck, AI can do that. Yeah, people are gonna watch that. Like, I'm not gonna lie and say that AI isn't capable of doing things that people are gonna find entertaining. I mean, it already gets like millions of views on like, or millions of views and likes and on like social media, you know, on Reels and TikTok and shit like that.
Right.
Fucking, we already have like couple. You get the picture. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
So I think this is good for right now, and I think it's gonna be good for like a good, maybe solid like 50 years. I'd give it, and that's maybe a stretch, but I unfortunately do see a point. Like, I don't see these rules sticking in the long term. I think these rules are more a reaction to the current concerns and of both like the people in the Academy and the people who watch the Oscars. I do think a
like,
generation.
what's making you think so cynically about that? Like, what makes you think that they're gonna revert this?
Can you tell me the rule again specifically? Like, just read it out.
Yes, I can. Only roles demonstrably performed by humans with their consent can be nominated for acting Oscars, and screenplays must be human authored to qualify for nomination. So I don't think this is saying that AI can't be integrated and used as a tool, but I think it's saying that like AI can't do the work of like acting and like writing. But I feel like that's like such a gray area type of thing, like what counts, what doesn't. I don't know.
I wanna share with you an anecdote real quick.
Mm-hmm.
In my in my directing class, this girl, we all had to like submit scripts for the teacher to review. And he picked like the best three, whatever. From the best three, this girl's like script got picked, and you know, she was excited about it. Then when we actually had to work on the script, she said like, oh yeah, I completely did not write this, like this is completely AI written.
Oh my god.
And it got picked by my film professor, who is not a shitty teacher, mind you. He's not like just flaking on it. So that's what I think about that. I think we will not have a way to fully know. And here I mean, like, will there be some sort of like future certification of like human whatever? Like, maybe. But eventually I do feel like some of these scripts are going to have some sort of like part written in AI or something like that, or like, and I'm not saying that that's okay. I'm not saying I agree with that. With my work, I keep it like I don't do any of that. Let me make that clear. But I do think like some people who work in the industry, they don't give a fuck enough about keeping things authentic or keeping things like you know, they just, admittedly, they want it for a quick buck. And a lot of people are trying to make a quick buck in Hollywood. So eventually that's going to become more of a thing. And yeah, we're either not going to know, we're not going to be able to know the difference, or we're not going to care enough because it'll be just surrounding us anyway. So that's, yeah, I don't know. Like, also, like, the rules are just very vague. Like, it's not, I'm sure they have like a more specific thing, but it sounds more performative than anything. And I'll take performative. I like the fact that we have these
At
rules.
least it's something, right?
No, yeah, for real. Like, at least it is something. But I guess that's just like my opinion on it. You know, it is better that these rules exist than they don't, regardless of anything. So that at least like in the future, when it does become something that if they do revert it, when it does become something that they revert, it can be like a big deal or whatever. But yeah, I mean, it's good overall.
Cool. Thank you for sharing that. Actually, that was a pretty interesting. That's crazy that your film professor chose that script.
Yeah, bro, it's insane, bro.
Diabolical. That's pretty funny. Okay, moving on. So there's some pretty big developments in the Netflix space this week. For the first time in its history, Netflix is putting a film in theaters the way a traditional studio would. Greta Gerwig's Narnia, the Magician's Nephew, is moving from Thanksgiving 2026 to February 2027. Here's the plan. Full-wide theatrical release on February 12th, 2027. 49 days exclusive in theaters before the film hits Netflix on April 2nd. Initially, this was supposed to be a 2-week IMAX only run starting Thanksgiving, and then straight to streaming on Christmas. This is a really big deal because a lot of directors have tried to get a exclusive theatrical window out of Netflix. Think of all the big movies that could have used this. Wake Up Dead Man, Frankenstein,
David Fincher,
The Irish, the Irishman, like all these big directors that made these films. I'm sure they would have loved to have the exclusive theatrical window, but they didn't, and Greta Gerwig is the first one to. I wouldn't be surprised if this opens up, especially if it's successful. It's going to be something that Netflix is going to be doing from here on out, which is essentially they're just going to be a new studio, a new theatrical studio, which is really interesting. Obviously, not every movie is going to go to theaters. Mm-hmm. It's going to be their more prestige fare with bigger names and talent attached. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
I mean, she did make $1 billion. She did make $1 billion at the box office. You know what I mean? Like,
she did make $1 billion at the box office.
You know what
probably
I mean?
One of the
like,
biggest female directors working in the industry right now.
Yeah, because I was thinking like, wow, like even Marty Scorsese couldn't get like a theatrical release, but like then I was thinking.
To be fair, that was a couple years ago. Netflix was in a different. was in a different space, right? But
I also do think.
Why
oh, sorry. No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say like the more recent films like Wake Up Dead Man. I think Wake Up Dead Man could have made a lot of money if it was theatrical.
Maybe. I think also this is a response to like maybe the public being like release movies and films, or like at least to the CEO's like negative reactions, or not negative reactions, to the public's negative reactions to the CEO's comments about like movie theaters and like how they're dead, because he's talked a lot about that recently, and people have been like, you're fucking stupid, like no they're not, like release your movies in theaters or whatever. So I don't know, it could be that as well. I think it's interesting. I'm excited for the film regardless, but this is an interesting, I would like to see this be successful.
Yeah, me too. I have a couple other small things I wanted to go over. It was announced that Diego Luna is going to be joining Disney's live-action Tangled remake in a newly created role. Mm-hmm. A new Planet of the Apes movie is in the works. Matt Shakman, which is the person behind the Fantastic Four movie, is set to direct. And it's not going to be a continuation of the last Planet of the Apes film, which was titled Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
That's very interesting.
Harry Potter... Sorry?
No, I just thought it's very interesting for like a Matt Shakman movie, but
yeah, it's an interesting choice, and it also leads me to believe that he's not going to direct a Fantastic Four sequel, which is unfortunate because I did like what he did with that film. Harry Potter Season 2 has been greenlit at HBO, with Chamber of Secrets beginning to film this fall, and Matthew Lillard has been cast in Man of Tomorrow. Yeah, that's really cool. Obviously, Matthew Lillard and James Gunn have had a long-running relationship, because James Gunn was involved with those Scooby-Doo movies, and I feel like that's really... Well, I guess those came out after Scream, and I feel like Scream is what really put him on the map, but I feel like Scooby-Doo helped boost that. They've been friends for a long time, and it's very interesting to see who he's going to be playing. I saw some theories that maybe he's going to be playing like Ted Kord, Blue Beetle. That could be pretty cool. I don't know if they're going to have Blue Beetle stuff in this movie. I don't know. Who do you think Matthew Lillard could be playing? Or do you think it would be like an original character?
I was honestly thinking like maybe an original character. Ted Kord would be interesting. I wouldn't mind that. That'd be cool. Just because
Yeah, people said
I couldn't really think
yeah,
of
he does
anybody.
line up in age with like Kumail Nanjiani, who's like rumored for um Booster Gold if
Really?
that's ever going to happen.
I thought Matthew Lillard was like older.
Yeah, let's see. Kumail
Yeah.
Nanjiani is 48, and Lillard is 56.
Okay, I guess it's not like too off. It's like believable,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, but I'm
Um,
really happy for Matthew Lillard. He's really stacking up franchises.
Hell
Just
yeah.
I'm so happy for him. He's in DC now. He's in Marvel. He's in the new Daredevil season. Um,
Wait, really? Who
Obviously
is he?
Scream, FNAF. He's playing like an original character.
Oh. Wait, that's so dope. Yeah, I do really love seeing Matthew Lillard at any time on screen. Like, he's just a charming guy, and he's just a lot of fun to
Yeah,
see.
yeah, he is.
Also, if anything, I do see him more likely playing an original character, but I don't know. Ted Cord could be fun. I don't know who else like could be available. Maybe like I don't know. I really don't know who else. Oh, I do have one
Um,
more piece of news if you're done.
yeah, go ahead.
Charlie Kaufman is working on a new film starring starring Channing Tatum and Tessa Thompson
Oh,
for
the
called
Taika
later.
Waititi biopic.
Yeah. It's called Later the War, and it's like, yeah, it's about a comedian or a director who does like blockbusters trying to take himself seriously, so he makes uh, a Holocaust movie, a serious Holocaust movie. Um, I'm very excited for this. I'm a big Charlie Kaufman guy, Charlie Kaufman head. Have you seen any of his movies, Ellen? They're
uh, Give me like what are the big ones that he's done?
Eternal Sunshine, Adaptation, Being John
Yes,
Malkovich.
I've seen
Yeah.
Eternal. I've seen Eternal Sunshine, and I think I've
Synecdoche,
seen
New
John
York.
Malkovich like a bit ago, but I've definitely seen Eternal Sunshine on this ball list.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a very interesting guy. I'm very interested in anything that he makes. And especially in the thing is he's also not known for like Hollywood too much. Um like a lot of his films are definitely more introspective. I would say more in a New York vibe. He literally has a movie called Synecdoche, New York.
Mm-hmm.
Um it's kind of like that. So being in this world, especially with like these two big Hollywood names, is going to be a new perspective that I'm interested to see in. And also, one more piece of news: Ari Aster has announced his new film starring Scarlett Johansson
Yes, I did hear
called
about this. Very
Scapegoat.
exciting.
Yeah. That there isn't many details. At least I haven't seen any. Maybe yeah. There are no details about the plot, but it's gonna be a new Ari Aster movie, so I'm sure it'll be a hoot and a
That's always
holler.
fun. Yeah,
Did you
yeah.
like Eddington? I don't know if did we watch Eddington?
I wasn't crazy about it, but I still did enjoy watching it. I thought Bo Was Afraid was crazy. I like Ari Aster. His movies are interesting.
That Ari Aster, him. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm also very excited. Also, because it's somebody that he doesn't work with. I'm excited for him to give Joaquin a rest. Although I'm sure he's going to be in some point of in some part of the
Hmm.
film. But it'll be interesting. And yeah, that's pretty much it
Yeah.
on my end.
Alrighty. So with that being said, let's move into what we watched. I'll start us off this week. We got the season finale of Daredevil Born Again, season 2. And yeah, I thought it was absolutely incredible. I think the way it wrapped up the overarching story that they've told over the past 2 seasons was really interesting. I thought there were some really great performances. Overall, the season's been fantastic. Some of the best Daredevil stuff that we've ever gotten. Um, just so crazy. I that like we're here, and all these characters are back, Um, after like feeling like they were really gone, I never thought I would actually see characters on the screen again, or obviously like played by these people. I mean, and here we are, and it's just so great. Such a good finale, and really left things open for a very interesting place for season 3. I'm trying to be vague just because I don't want to give away any of the major spoilers because there's a lot
Sure.
that
I
goes
was gonna
down,
ask you.
and yeah, there's a lot that goes down in the season finale, and the season as a whole, but a lot happened in this finale. Um, and
What
let's
do
just
you
say it leaves
think?
our character in a very interesting place. What do I think? What?
What do you think about like where the story could go from there on? Like, do you have like any personal theories without spoiling anything, or is
It
that
would be
like not
impossible for
possible?
me. Yeah, it would be impossible for
Yeah.
me to give my
Okay.
theories.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Just because
Um.
it's like a complete status quo shift, right? So like I
Well,
wouldn't be able to explain.
is there anything that like you could say that could make people excited for the next season? If
Um,
of
it
Yeah.
is clear that they are leading up to a very famous comic run, and that is all I will say. But let's just say very interesting things are coming.
You'll have to tell me the comic uh, off the
Yeah.
air.
Yes.
um,
All right. So
but
hit us,
yeah.
Nick. What's something that you watched this week?
So I am going to bring the tone all the way down. With because the only thing I believe the only thing I watched this week other than our main feature was the Michael Jackson documentary. Um, just out of I felt kind of a I guess personal responsibility to inform myself on the actual situation after talking about it. So um not superficially, but just like in general after not really knowing what specifically had gone down. And I don't know. I still I still overall agree with my points of last of when we watched it, of not last week, of when we watched it. But you really it's really bad, man. It's just really it's really bad. You really don't get a sense of how bad it actually is until they're actually there in front of you, like talking about it in a very in a very unabashed way that um is incredible filmmaking more more than anything. It's just a great show of what like filmmaking can actually like do to like impact and bring a story to light, because they really do. I don't know. I just remember watching the documentary and like crumbling after thinking about how many times like I've enjoyed his music and whatever. And I guess that's the point, right? Like that's what they want you to do.
Yeah. What was the
Um,
documentary called?
Leaving Neverland. Sorry, I did not say that name. Um,
Okay,
yeah, the
this is the
documentary
one
is called.
I have heard of this, and I do want to watch it.
Yeah, this is like the
The
infamous HBO
Yeah,
documentary. It's like 2
the director
episodes.
went on like a lot of like he spoke a lot over the past couple of weeks because of the movie coming out,
Mm,
right? I think that's where I heard of him. Like, there's a lot of
interesting.
headlines about that.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, and I'll say this too. Right before the film came out, Michael, I mean, um, this is an HBO documentary. They took this off of HBO Max like a few weeks before Michael came out, like in preparation. So you can't watch it on HBO Max anymore. I had to pirate it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I'm not gonna say there is some intention with what, and I do admire the director for actually going out there and still insisting on his story being told. Not just his story, but several stories. It's just really, yeah. I guess to sum it up, it's a very interesting documentary that doesn't doesn't even entirely demonize Michael Jackson. And I think that's almost the worst thing about it for talking about the actual tragedy of it all, is that these people really, I mean, some of them did admire him as like an artist and as the person that he was, whatever. And I just think, I feel like I can't say like a fully completed thought about this, but I just think one, it's a great way to bring reality to the Michael Jackson movie, especially if that's what people want. It's certainly what I wanted. And two, it's a great way to characterize him as just like, properly, and kind of like make your own opinion about the whole situation as a hand. Low-key, I haven't, I definitely stopped listening to his music a lot more. Not entirely, but just a lot more after watching it. But I can't deny like his artistic impact and the good songs that he has. And does that matter? Does that not matter? I think that's not my thing to debate about. But yeah, I just if you wanted a dose of reality after watching Michael, I think you should watch the Leaving Neverland documentary, and that is my thesis.
Hell yeah. Alrighty. Let's see. Did I have anything else that I watched this week that I wanted to mention? I saw Get Out for the first time. That was pretty cool.
Oh.
Incredibly well directed, well performed. I really like Jordan Peele and his comedy, and so I think it was really cool to see some of the comedic elements still in such a dark and horror film. And it just makes me just a little sad that we haven't had a Jordan Peele film since Nope in 2022, almost 4 years ago at this point. So yeah, I'm just excited. I know. Did I read that his next movie got taken off of the release schedule? Is that what happened?
I actually don't know. I'm literally looking it up right now.
Because I know he was supposed to have a film drop this year. Yeah. As of May 2026, it doesn't have a confirmed release date. So
yeah,
it was
and
originally
his
set
production
for
company has layoffs.
Yeah, it was originally set for Christmas 2024, and then it was pushed to October 23rd, 2026 after the strikes. And then in September, it was removed from the slate, and no update since then. So that really sucks. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, Get Out was great. I mostly watched it because it was the only film that's gonna be parodied in Scary Movie 6 that I have not seen yet, and so I needed to fill out my knowledge.
Probably just for Scary Movie. Hell yeah.
yeah, exactly. Gotta fully appreciate the film.
That's a good tip because I also haven't seen Get Out, so I should probably get on that. Yeah. I should probably get in that. Get it? Get it? Fuck. I'll be here all night, folks. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was good, dude. Don't.
No, thank you.
That was great.
Hey,
yeah,
no, sure. I got more. If you want more, I got more.
Oh no, it's okay. It's okay.
I'm just, I'm here just in case. I got more.
Right. No. I get that. We're all very worried.
More. Whatever. Yeah. Did you watch anything else, Ilan?
No, not really. Have you?
I guess I could talk about this. I saw Whisper of the Heart, the Ghibli movie. They released it in 4K in theaters, and just like I don't know for how long. But yeah, it was just available that night, and it was really, honestly, I expected to not enjoy it just because I heard that it's definitely a slower Ghibli movie, and quote unquote not as interesting. And I'm also kind of critical of Ghibli movies. I'm not the biggest fan of like Totoro, and honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of Spirited Away either. I know I'm very by myself in that opinion, but I really enjoyed Whisper of the Heart, like more than I thought I would. I thought it was beautiful. It was a slow film, but it really let me enjoy getting to know like the characters, and it's a beautiful love story about like these two like kids who just like keep finding each other, and it's I don't know, it's just sweet. It really is just heartwarming and sweet, and it's not even just about the love story aspect of it, but also just the the main plot, just like to give it away a little, is this girl who's like trying to find out what she wants to do, I guess artistically. Because she's like doing a lot of things. She's like writing songs, she's writing stories, she's doing other things. I don't remember everything. And she's just like and living through like being a girl in a Japanese high school, I guess. And then like, you know, things happen, yada yada yada. But at the end of the day, the whole film is about the artistic process and all the little elements in your life that influence the artistic process and the effects of it. And I don't know, I didn't expect that it was going to be about that, but when it finally hit me that like I was really into it. And yeah, cool. I just recommend it. And it's also beautifully animated. It's where the lo-fi girl image comes from, if you want to know fun fact.
Okay, cool.
So I'm expecting you to see it now, yeah. But yeah, no. But yeah, Whisper of the Heart. Really recommend it.
Alrighty. Cool. I actually did not know that was like from a movie. I thought that was like an original character for the lo-fi. That's pretty cool. Did you have anything else that you wanted to talk about?
Nope.
Alrighty, with that being said, let's move into our main feature. I will start with a quick summary off the internet, then we'll talk spoiler-free thoughts, and then get into spoilerific thoughts. Miranda Priestley struggles against Emily Charlton, her former assistant turned rival executive, as they compete for advertising revenue amid declining print media, while Miranda nears retirement. Nick, what did you think of The Devil Wears Prada 2?
I enjoyed it a lot, actually. Some might say, I might say, I enjoyed it a lot more than the first. I'm honestly not the biggest fan of the first one. I think it's okay. I think it's fine. I also expected this movie to be
before you speak, I want to say I have the same thought. How I liked it a lot, and I liked it more than the first one. Just wanted to point that out. But yeah, continue.
All right, dope. I'm glad we agree. Hell yeah. But yeah, I guess to talk a little bit more about that. I thought the first one was just okay. It didn't blow me away. I think it kind of got muddled in some of the storylines that it was trying to tell. But I was really blown away by how honestly clever this film was in the decisions that it chose to make and the things that it talked about too. I'm being very vague right now. Yeah, I don't know. I was just really encapsulated by Anne Hathaway's also just pure intentions character. I really liked her. I really liked how she was the genuine sail following along. Also, Meryl Streep, incredibly funny throughout the whole thing. She still gives a killer performance. Honestly, everyone gave a great performance. Stanley Tucci, Emily Blunt, they're all on their A game. And also it's a pretty film. I mean, sometimes. I will say the Office segments do feel bland and boring and studio shot. But whenever the film is outside, it tries to give you something visually interesting and, I don't know, captivating. So I didn't expect that aspect either, because I also considered the first one to be kind of boring visually. But yeah, what do you think about it, Ilan?
Yeah, I really liked it for all the reasons that you pretty much already mentioned. I think it was incredibly topical to the world that we live in today. I think it was an incredibly realistic take on that industry and the way things are heading, and I guess the way women look at business and the way that they're handled in a business space. Yeah, I thought, like you said, the performances were fantastic. Anne Hathaway is just so incredibly charismatic and fun to watch on a screen. And it's so cool to see the progression of her character from the first one and seeing how she grows. I think there's a lot of cool callbacks to the first one and little slight things, especially when it comes to the parts of the characters that are playing the roles that like Emily Blunt and Anne Hathaway in the first one like worked for Meryl
Yeah.
Streep, and then there's like new people in those roles, obviously because it's like years later. So it's fun
Hmm.
seeing those like callbacks, like stuff that happened in that one. I think the camera work was fine, nothing special, but not bad. Um, yeah, honestly, I thought it was just a nice, fun watch, and I was in it through the whole time. I really did like the characters. I liked Anne Hathaway's like boyfriend character. There was a small like love
Mm.
subplot, and I think it really worked. I really like was rooting for them. Um, Overall, just like a really nice time revisiting with these characters. I did enjoy it.
I do think it's interesting the amount of product placement in this movie. Uh, and how much it works. It's kind of weird how much it works in this movie. It's very much ingrained. I know I'm very much switching the topic, but
No, yeah,
I
that's
just kept
fine.
noticing it.
I do agree. It is done very well to where it feels like part of it feels like just part of the movie. It's not sticking out like a sore thumb. Like, oh, look, they're clearly like one that reminds me is like the Barbie like car chase scene. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
It
yeah, yeah.
reads like a commercial for that car,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
This is just it's just in the DNA of the film.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess I was just distracted by that a little bit just because I was thinking like, what are the real, I guess, ethics of literally ingraining your film with product placement, wherein you can just actually hire anybody because like, bro, Dior. They just keep talking about brand. And I think it didn't help also that like, oh, I guess we can talk about a spoiler.
Well, that's
Are
just the
we ready to go into
nature of the
spoilers?
film. I feel like, yeah, we can move into spoilers. This is your spoiler warning, but I just continue with my thought. I feel like that's the nature. The film is titled "The Devil Wears Prada." It's a
No, right,
fashion
of course.
magazine. I feel like I don't know if I'd even call them like talking about the different fashion brands as product placement. I just feel like that's just part of the.
I mean, you're not wrong, but it is product placement, is what I'm saying. And like, it really stood out to me when, but I also like don't, I do and I don't have an issue with it. I do have an issue with it because I do feel like, they are at the end of the day, this is one big ad for all of these separate brands that have invested money into this movie, like for example Dior, like for example all like the other mentions. And it doesn't help that in the beginning scene, this is what I was going to mention, and one of the beginning scenes when everything goes down with Meryl Streep's character about like the sweatshop, and she has a conversation with Emily Blunt's character, who is running Dior. Emily Blunt's character, she's quite blunt about the fact that, about that she needs, I want like a 5-page thing with ads in all caps. And when she said that, ads in all caps, whenever they would mention a brand, an ad, uh, it would register in my mind, I guess, as all caps. And I guess that took me out of it. But then I couldn't blame the movie for that because that is what it is, and that is what how these characters would talk. Like nothing about how these characters talk is a natural, or at least clocking as a natural. Um, it's just so, I don't know. It really takes me for a tizzy, is what I'll say. It's not a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's just a weird way of filmmaking, and arguably, if it is an ad, it's a really incredibly well done, well written,
Yeah,
and entertaining ad, and I don't
yeah, it
necessarily
works.
mind that. I guess
Yeah,
I
it
don't
works,
necessarily mind
and
that. Yeah.
yeah, I think the biggest thing is that I feel like the story um, is really engaging. I feel like it's super topical, like I already said, and
Mm-hmm.
the all the performers are just so great. I haven't really talked on Stanley Tucci. I know you did, but he's so good. He is so
Mm-hmm.
good in this film. He was my favorite character in the first one, so I love seeing where he goes, and how essentially he's like one of the head guys at the end. I thought that was such a great way to end it. Um, it was great. Yeah.
For sure. No, yeah, like I thought he was great. I kept thinking about while watching the film, I kept thinking about this one quote that Meryl Streep gave while promoting this movie. That was like, Stanley Tucci's heterosexuality is so powerful in this movie, and I'm like, bro, the only reason you're saying that is because the guy is a little gay in the movie, but he's not. I don't know. It's just regardless of what I just said, I do think he does give a great performance, a very compelling performance, and I'm also just happy that he finally got his flowers. Like, he finally got recognized.
Yeah.
In the story, I guess.
He's always turning in such great work, I feel like.
Yeah. No. I mean the character like finally got his flowers. Like, in the sense of it felt like a nice. It felt. It felt like a nice way to like conclude his story arc, and because he did feel small, I guess smaller in the first one, but I do like the way that they like blew up his character in this one and made him very central.
Yeah, definitely.
But also,
I think all the characters
yes.
were handled well and taken in interesting places.
For sure. Also, yes, I do think Stanley Tucci should get his flowers, or he should have them. I'm very glad that people like Stanley Tucci. I agree with you.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
Yeah. Did you have Yeah, did you have anything else to say about it?
No, not really. There's not. I feel like I don't have, like, I guess my review's kind of boring for this film. I don't have too many thoughts on it. I just had a fun time. And yeah, I definitely would give a recommendation, even if you haven't seen the first one, just because I feel like you don't need to have seen the first one to kind of get what's going on here.
No, I would agree.
Just it gives you an interesting look into the fashion industry and the magazine industry.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say like your review is boring. It also is just like a plainly good movie. You know what I mean? Objectively, maybe not objectively, but I don't want to say that. But it is just like a good movie that it feels fulfilling. It feels like a nice meal. It doesn't feel like McDonald's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It doesn't feel like going to like a fancy restaurant. It feels like having like, I don't know, Chili's.
I was just thinking Chili's.
That's crazy. Yeah. That's what I'm saying, brother. It's the Chili's of movies. That's what I'm talking about.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for me, too.
Alrighty. So, well, with that being said, that's it for episode 36 of Popcorn Problems. Thank you guys so much for joining us. If you made it this far, you're the real MVP. We'll be back next week reviewing Mortal Kombat 2. In the meantime, you can hit us up on socials at Popcorn Problems Pod and let us know what you thought of Devil Wears Prada 2. Don't forget to follow, rate us 5 stars on whatever platform you're using, and DM us your hottest takes and suggestions. We will see you next time. Peace.
Have a good one.